So those of you, some of you may or may not know this, but my cat, Baby Shark, is my producer, and he's always like making sure that everything is perfect for the show, making sure that my branding is good, and he's watched the last couple of episodes of the show, and he was like, "Listen, Dave, the sign that you have on the back, it's not really cutting it. It's too small. People can't see it." So I came up with a solution for that. We have logo cam, and it looks like this. See, so now we can see the sign. There, Baby Shark, are you happy? Oh, like usual, he doesn't actually care. Okay. All right, I think that means we can start the show. Here we go! It's the Dave Brenn Show. But here we are. We're doing it. We're in Season 2 of the Dave Brenn Show, Episode 3. If you've been following along in the series, every week we've been interviewing some of the instructors at the upcoming Twist and Shout 2023. Yeah! Live Zoom gallery. Let's see it if you're going to Twist and Shout. Ow! What is up, everybody? If you want to be in this live Zoom gallery, by the way, we record these episodes live on Zoom. You can join in. Just go to patreon.com/Dave Brenn. It's right there on the bottom. There's my handy dandy brandy. It's a handy dandy brandy. I just came up with that right now. So, Twist and Shout is coming up this February 22nd. Go to balloonconvention.com to get your tickets. Today, we are interviewing two more instructors from the convention. We're going to be interviewing Dan Staples and DJ Morrow. But we also have a secret surprise guest at the end. So stick around for the whole episode so you can see who our special surprise guest is going to be. I know who it is. I know and you don't. So we've got a lot to get through today, so we're just going to dive right into it. We're going to start with our first guest. My first guest today has taught at many, many conventions, but they consider Twist and Shout to be his home base. Most recently, he taught for Batalic in 2020. His interest takes on pop culture characters and won him awards both locally and nationally. And his greatest achievement is not drop kicking someone at an event. Yet. Please welcome to the show, my friend and yours, Dan Staples.
We've come pretty close to a drop kick or two. Probably close to a throat punch, but the drop kick's coming.
What was your closest? What happened? Give me the breakdown.
I'm over the end of the line stuff when people like it was a situation where a dad had said I obviously did the close the line thing, the big balloon. I'm really loud, so everybody knows the line's closing, and
right.
It was a race, and the kid was running in the race. And the dad was like, I was closing up and he was mad. He was like, "What's your business name?" And I told him, and he's like, "Good, because I'm going to let my kid know so that you like really screwed him over." And I was like, "What, is he going to go Yelp at school, like at lunch?" No. And then the guy got in my face and I was like, "You got to stop because I'm off the clock. It doesn't matter anymore." And then people walk away. So yeah, that's what I'm teaching at Twist and Shout. Fight Club, sponsored by Batalic. Be brutal with Batalic. No, don't say. I don't think Jan's not here. Jan, I'm sorry, Jan.
Oh no! Be brutal with Batalic. I love it. Great. That's going to be a really good class.
I like that. That's a after pajama jammy jam class.
After pajama jam, it's jam my fist down your throat jam.
I like it.
So how's life been? How did the pandemic treat you?
You know what? We'll be honest, not that great, Dave. Not
Yeah.
that great. I've decided I don't like humans at all. So I don't particularly enjoy making balloons for humans. So I don't. My take on ballooning and balloon art has drastically changed. And I'm more of like I'm like a really good drug dealer. Like I make balloons for people that like really want someone good. I do a lot of like the athletes in the area. Because like I don't post pictures, like I don't care about clout anymore. So they like it's nice. It's a little hush hush. Like they don't have to have their kids on my Instagram.
Right.
They pay me. It's cool. It's good.
That's kind of a more chill existence, right? Because then you're not hustling and going gigs to gigs, and you
I
kind of
will
get to do
say,
your thing.
like, I love the balloon industry, and
Sure.
I will always be part of the balloon industry. But I think like there's part of it where you feel like you, or it's like you have to be full time, and if you're not just making balloons, you should do a show and this. And like honestly, like I have a regular full time remote job now, and like even my kids were like, "You haven't been this relaxed in years." So like running your own business is really awesome, but it's really cool to just like have income. And now like I've been wanting to make content for this like side project for years, and now I'm just making a ton of it. And I have giant like towelies and stuff for my. It's refreshing. I'm falling in love with balloon art again because it's
Oh,
not
that's
for
great.
little Jimmy's birthday party, but
Well, tell us more about your side project.
it's actually if you've seen anything randomly, it's if you remember my friend Sully, who you can actually see, he's
I do. I thought Sully got retired, but he's still around.
uh, the Wicked Awesome Balloon Show has taken many different forms, and I think
Yeah.
one of the biggest issues with it was I was trying to balance my Dan's Balloons, which is like homegrown family entertainment, and then something that was just like what is really in my head. And it's kind of taken many forms, and I was trying to like monetize it before it was anything, and now like I did like some stand up for a while, and now like I'm combining some things. So I don't care about trying to get my business out there. I care about just making what I want to make and making fun, weird stuff. And
I really like that attitude because I think there's a lot of pressure, especially by like kind of obnoxious like achievement gurus on the internet to be like, get out there and do your thing and put your brand out there. And it's like, yeah, that can get obnoxious and annoying after a while, and especially if like, some idiot makes a talk show named after themselves and is posting all over Facebook about it. It's like, I get it. It's a lot.
I think
It's a
it's
lot.
different. I don't have a performance background. Like I literally fell
Right.
into this just so I can be home with my kids. So like to me, it's a cool form. I've always been creative and like expressing myself, but it's not like I'm not clawing at like, oh no, my performance. Like if I don't make a balloon for another kid ever again in my life, like it is what it is. But
Right.
I still do like I'm doing parties on the side, but it's like OG clients. I'm not like, just not put myself out there, but it's nice. I
Right.
like it. And all the stuff that I'm going to be, the only gigs that I really do are the things that I'm going to be teaching at Tristan Show. So I'm well versed.
Nice. Well, you got to take care of yourself too. I mean, that's the most important thing is like what makes you mentally happy.
And everybody should. That's what I mean, even like Judge Juan saying like copying it. And it's like, no, you should just think about it. Just put your spin on it. Like anything that I've ever taught in any class, if anybody's ever been in any of my classes or anything, I never really want you to take the thing that I'm making and just reproduce it. I just want, it's a skeleton. You put the flesh on how you want, but like, I think there's so much of like, look at this thing. I'm going to remake it and sell it for $300. Like, no, just like do something cool with it. It's like Legos. Like, yeah, you make the set if it's cool, but then it breaks and then you make like all wild stuff. It's awesome.
Right. So I'm excited to see you at Twist and Shout. I feel like I haven't seen you in forever. What are you bringing? What's on the table for you at Twist and Shout?
Well, thankfully, my good friends at Metallic are bringing me back out. And I mean, if you want to come see my classes and slum it, that's fine. But Rob and Denise are going to be bringing that the top-notch deliciousness. So make sure that you check out their classes. And then, like, if
I mean, I can't think of anything I'd rather do at Twist and Shout than slum it.
That's what I'm saying. Like on the way home, you swing by the dumpster and you're like, "What's going on behind there?" Oh, it's dance class. So that you can come by and check it out. It'll be good. So I am bringing 2 classes, and I'm going to be like, I don't have a master class because I'm not about that life, but I am about the life of these 2 things. Sorry, I know words good, so my title's written for me. Score big.
No pressure. This is just a live recording. No pressure.
Score big with Dan's Super Sports Sculptures. So that's all stuff that it's not anything that you've seen in normal classes. It's like a wrestling championship belt, like a lacrosse stick that you can actually like cradle ball and like throw it. Little tabletop games that you can do at like restaurants. So it's stuff that I do regularly. As a little Ninja Warrior like course thing. It's all
cool.
like, yeah, it's all fairly intermediate, easy. Like I said, I try to. A lot of it's just kind of like, this is what the basic is, and this is like what I might do, and this is what you could do.
Right.
So there's a lot of cool stuff in there.
It sounds kind of interactive too. Like the pieces are
Yeah, like a
games
lot of
and
them.
stuff.
One of them I've done variations of before, like, but my football helmet that I use the stadiums and stuff, and like it looks cool, but like when you and I played football, but like when you put it on and it feels real, like it's something different about like getting something that looks cool and like an experience. And it's like a little mini ghetto cosplay. It's cool.
Right.
It's fun. And then the power up with Dan's superhero designs. That's kind of it's a newer take on all the new superhero stuff that's coming out or that's come out. So obviously everybody knows your basic copyright generic superheroes. But there's been a lot of stuff that's come out in the past like year or two, and a lot of stuff that's going to be coming out. And if you're someone that kind of doesn't get out and want to learn about it, there's really cool designs. If you've seen the picture on Balloon Twist Essential of the MODOK like face thing with the hands and the arms, I'm going to teach that. Just some stuff like that, so you can kind of get all caught up. And it's great for restaurants, Comic Cons, like it's not festival line work, but like birthday party.
Do you keep up with all the superhero stuff, like the 12 movies that come out every year?
I don't know. I don't. Not that I have various items. I don't enjoy it. But,
no, you don't. No, it's a necessity for your job. I understand.
Yeah, no, I'm into weird. Like even this, like that's my Peppa Pig, but we call it Bloody Puddles because she has blood all over. I made that. I like weird pop culture stuff. That's what.
Do you write off your movie tickets? You can do that,
You could. I hate people so much. I don't even go to the movies anymore. I just wait until it comes out. So I'm like behind. I'm not current.
Oh, okay.
I'm more current than other people that are probably like 65 and don't care about it and don't have kids.
Right. So this is get your latest 2018 superhero balloons at Dan Staples' class. I like it.
Oh, fun and interactive.
What are you hoping people take away from your class?
I hope in general you just I want to share my newfound passion that I found again. I want everything to be something that is just like a building block for you. And I want you to get more excited about just kind of creating. So like, yeah, there are basic superhero things, but like if you know anything about superheroes, you can make anything. So like, what can you make out of that? Like, what can you take? How can you take that to any level, not the next level, just your level? Like, what do you want to do?
Right.
So I think we focus on too much of what's going to sell and what do we have to do and what's the basic amount of twists. And sometimes you have to just make something that's like cool. So.
Right. Well, I want to bring on my co-host Jetwan real quick because for those of you who don't know, Jetwan is my fearless co-host. She number one, she has to start every episode by complimenting my outfit. That's necessary. But she also monitors the live chat if you guys have any questions for our guests. And we got a question for Dan here, Jetwan.
So, since you're not feeling people right now, how do you get yourself psyched up? How do you like get out there so the inside doesn't show? You get out there and fake it. I mean, because I would imagine when you
I suspect that Dan just lets the inside show.
Okay, so that was like, I would imagine when you get there, they don't know that you don't give two shits about them.
Well, the first ingredient is indica, and the second ingredient is so I worked retail for a really long time, so like I'm really good at like being customer servicey, and I can do whatever you want me to do, and I can make it feel really, really good, even if I don't want to be there. So I can play into that, but I like money. I started making balloons literally so that I could be home with my kids because daycare was too expensive and we didn't know what to do. So like balloons for me when I fell into it was kind of like, I need to do this for my kids, but then I started to really like kind of fall in love with it. So it's always been this weird relationship. But for me, like I'm not a business person. Like
Wait, what does that say? It's backwards for me.
Then you started slinging that latex.
That's all. It's all it is. It's money. I mean, there are definitely events and like there are events where I do go out and I'm like, oh wow, that was really cool. Or like, one little kid was like really happy. But like when people are like, it must make you so happy to see all the smiles. Like, no, it doesn't. I don't care anymore. Like, I'm sorry. It's been like 10 years.
Oh my God.
I have 2 kids. Like it's just like working at 7-Eleven. Like, wow, you really like warming up the ketos. Like, yeah, I don't want to die every day. Like it just happens. Like they're just jobs. So I mean, I think I'm finding what I've always been is I'm Dan's balloons. So like you get me. So everyone's been like, oh, you should wear like a balloon print shirt, or you should do this. Like, no, I wear a hat. This is what you get. I might wear a shirt and tie, maybe. But like, I'm not liling it up with 30 pounds of equipment. Like, I got my bag tunis and I roll in, I bust it out. You get really cool stuff, but you get personality, and it's something you don't get. It's not the balloon guy. It's like this guy, Dan. Like, it's like a fat, miserable Mark Wahlberg making balloons for you. It's awesome.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Okay.
I absolutely love this kind of honesty, and I think we need more of this in the industry.
Have you ever cussed out a kid?
Ooh.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like
last Thursday. What were you? That's.
No one. There's no one. The only person that ever hires me to do balloons is Todd Neufeld, and he is like, and it's usually just to do things behind the scenes. No one locally will, because they know how I roll.
Did you do something at Maya's bat mitzvah?
Yeah. So
Todd, tell us what you did, because this is good.
Todd was like, hey, we want you to come down. We want you to be like a life coach, and we want you to basically like roast these kids at the mitzvah. So like kids would come up and tell me what they want to do with their life, and I was like, I would just tell them why it was a horrible idea. So Maya, Todd's daughter, was like, I don't know, like that's kind of like, I don't want to just like openly like shitting on people. So Connie last minute was like, wait, you have tarot cards? And Todd was like, I totally do have tarot cards. So he gave them to me like a half hour before, and I looked through them, and then like the first kid up just was like, why did my dad leave? And everyone was like, oh, and I just flipped. The first one was like a guy in a field, and there was 3 cups, and I was like, I don't know, you made him sad, so he went drinking in a field and got lost. And we just
Oh,
that was it.
Wow.
That was some kid asked when he was gonna die. Like it was just whatever the card was. The cards don't lie, baby. You just read them.
Wow. I would hire that act at my party. My next.
Listen, there's a market for
I'm afraid of this guy.
No, it's good. It's fun, and I am wholesome, and I do like I don't actually like if it's warranted at a fair and you like are ridiculous and you touch my stuff or spit at me or something, like, yeah, I'm gonna tell you to get out of my face. But if you hired me, I'd be like, hey, what's going on?
Right.
So,
yeah.
I'm not evil, Jan. Sorry, Jan.
I love it.
Yeah, I love it. Dan, I am really looking forward to seeing you, to taking your classes. I probably will be cracking up in the middle of your classes. I expect that. Thanks for coming on the show. It was great to talk to you. So check out Dan's classes at Twist and Shout. We're going to take a quick little break, and we're going to be right back with our next guest. See you in a bit. Well, the Dave Brenn Show is generously supported by my sponsors over at patreon.com/Dave Brenn. When you become a member of my Patreon, you get access to so much. You get monthly live Zoom classes. All those classes are recorded and posted to our exclusive Patreon content page. And on that page, you also get access to every single tutorial video that I've produced in my 10-year career as an instructor. So if you want to support future episodes of The Dave Brenn Show, please consider going over to patreon.com/Dave Brenn and supporting us for only $2.60 a month.
DJ, how do you pronounce your last name?
Morrow.
Morrow, like tomorrow.
Yeah. I didn't know if it was like one of those New York accent things like Mario.
Marrow. DJ Marrow. Welcome, DJ Marrow, to the show.
Well, you're pretty exotic, DJ, so if anyone's going to say their name differently, I would expect it to be you.
All right, let's jump right into it. Here we go. Welcome back to the Dave Brenn Show. We just wrapped up talking with Dan Staples, but let's jump right into my next guest. My next guest is known for combining his balloon art with his technical lighting and photography skills to create visually striking and thought-provoking fine art, touching on a broad range of societal ideas as well as intimate topics of mental health, personal identity. He attended his first balloon convention in 2019 and began teaching last year in 2022. Please welcome to the show, DJ Morrow.
Psyched to be here.
DJ, welcome, buddy. Good to see you.
Hello, hello.
DJ, you've been like a huge inspiration to me over the last couple of years. Not only like your work is super like fine arts realm, which is it's not very common to see a lot of that in the balloon industry. But you also gave me the courage to start wearing makeup in public, which I've been doing for years.
Oh, yeah.
Probably like the last 10 years, I wear makeup and do my nails kind of on my own time, but I don't really do it like out in the world or when I'm doing my talk show, stuff like that. And you gave me the courage to do that. So thank you.
That makes me so incredibly happy. I just think of all the people who've given me the courage to push my boundaries and just stop making excuses about things.
Yeah.
And so it's like that's the energy I want to put out is more people.
Well, you have succeeded.
Yeah, thank you.
So tell me a little bit about like your history with balloons, like how you kind of got into it, but then also how it evolved into what it's become.
Yeah, I've been doing balloons for 10 years. For the most of that time, it's just been stuff that everybody's going to be familiar with, birthday parties and corporate events and regular gigs and stuff, line work, restaurants. I've done it all. It was my first real job when I was 16. My parents taught me it. They used to do it when they were my age. And so I've had random different other sort of entrepreneurial self-employed jobs. I'm not one for not that. I guess it's part of my culture, my blood to just do my own
kind of doing your own thing. Yeah.
Yeah, and that was cool. And then the pandemic happened, and every
boy did it ever happen. Yeah,
disappeared. It's like within a week, like just there goes your entire year.
Yeah.
And I didn't think, wow, this is a big opportunity for me to explore all these other avenues of art. I had a lot of avenues of art. I do lots of different kinds of art. And so I didn't reach for the balloons again during that time because I wanted to do this whole fine art career thing. I was doing it as therapy because like a lot of people out there, I was going through a lot of depression and anxiety in that time. And like I needed a way to just push these emotions out and grapple with things. And when you put a lot of yourself into an image, you can click it, you can edit it, export it, and it's done. It puts a bow on it emotionally in a way that allows me to move on from things or to take the next step in how I feel about something.
Right.
And so it's not something I would feel that much about if I was just creating the balloon sculpture. It doesn't have that sense of finality because it sticks around and it shrinks and it's kind of there and then not there. But because I was putting so much time and effort and emotional energy into these, I wanted to come away with something that would last. And so I approached the creation of these balloons with the image that I wanted to leave with in mind. And so compositionally, I'm thinking in a two-dimensional image, which then I figure out how it works in that three-dimensional space. And that's led to a really, I guess, interesting way of approaching balloons, I think.
Yeah, it's like because the pieces really are designed to have a photo taken of them, and you can feel that. I think the first piece of yours that I became aware of was kind of right in the middle of the intensity of the pandemic, and I at the time was going through some really deep like emotional trauma and dealing with some pretty intense anxiety, and it was the one of the guy falling asleep, and I think the quote that you put along with the side of it was, sometimes falling asleep feels like dying. And that just like that hit me like right in this soft spot in my heart that was like, this is kind of how I'm feeling every night, and this piece is really speaking to me. What, like, how has your own like kind of emotional health journey and other social issues kind of informed what you do?
It is what has driven the entire process, right? Like I said from the beginning, I started as an outlet for these emotional ideas, and I still wanted to do balloons for kids, and like it was only when I decided to abandon that completely. So like I really connect with Dan's story, because I too was just at that point where I decided to let go of it all and just be myself, and stop holding myself in this like box of what like an entertainer should be and act like, which luckily I could do that because my other job is filming weddings, and that keeps me busy, not like full 40 hours a week, so I get to actually devote time to the art, and hopefully soon enough it'll switch back around, and balloons will be my primary source of income, but on my own terms.
Right. So you were at our jam yesterday, which, thank you for coming to that. Monday nights we have a little balloon jam, and you threw in a little teaser that I'm really curious to hear about. Because for whatever reason, I don't know why this kind of stuff comes up, but for whatever reason, butts came up in the conversation as they are prone to do. And you threw out a little nugget. You're like, actually, a butt will be involved in one of my classes. So I gotta know. Please tell me what you were talking about.
Okay, so this is actually it was the start of the idea for the class.
Hold on. Jetawan has some visual aids in case we're not sure. That's yes. That's what a butt looks like for those of you who don't know. Thank you, Jetawan. Gosh, she's such a good co-host. Thank you. Sorry, continue.
I was just like thinking about what the class is going to be about, and then I was just chilling out, trying to vibe and sort of get inspiration randomly, just surf the web with the intent of letting things come to you. I don't know if that's a really artistic thing.
Yeah, you're just letting the world inspire you. I totally
yeah, and I saw this adorable picture of a bumblebee like stuck in a flower with just his bumblebee butt sticking out, and I was like, this is gonna be a thing. I don't know how. And so I've been working on this little design of this flower with like a bumblebee's butt sticking out, and it's adorable, and it's got appeal and humor, and it tells a story, and it makes this little animal into like a character that you can relate to, and then that was like everything I wanted in a small balloon design, because most of my stuff is from top down elements and imagery and detail first, and then however big it's going to be, that's how it's going to be, as long as it can fit in my room. And so people wanted a design class, and you have to do something small enough to be able to teach, that people will be able to take to different venues, avenues of their business, and can downsize and upsize. But to me, it wasn't so much about design. It's not about what's being taught in the class. It's about what you want people to come away with. That's really what the class is about. And to me, the class is about putting that extra effort into telling a story with your balloons. You don't have to make these giant balloons and these giant compositions to tell a story. You can add little elements.
I love that so much, because I think that's a thing that gets left out a lot. Is like, oh, I want to learn how to make a monkey, or I want to learn how to make a frog, but it's like, no, what? Tell us something about that frog. Tell us something about that monkey.
And not only that, when you're doing sort of storytelling in balloon form, the emotion behind it becomes so much more important, because it's not a moving thing, right? We're not making a movie, or there's not a lot of parts to it, so it has to be immediately impactful, because what you see is what you're going to get out of that sculpture, right? And so the bumblebee is like on just the far end of like the feel good cute, right? But then a lot of what you see in my work is the far other end, the dark, the existential, the melancholy, and it's like I feel like there's room to express everything. And so like I'm gonna have some stuff that's like really pretty and fun, and then stuff that's more creepy and cool and has a little bit more edge to it without being hopefully overly corny.
Right.
So that's my main goals with this class.
And what's the name of that class?
It is called Beautiful Bugs and Creepy Crawlies.
Ooh, Beautiful Bugs and Creepy Crawlies. Nice. And then are you teaching another class as well?
Yes, I am. I am bringing another weaving class to Twist and Shout, because, I know Dennis is also doing a weaving class, and he's taking like what I love, which is the shotgun blanket, all the information you can, which is kind of the approach that I took to the online Twist class that I did last year.
Right.
And that's giving me the opportunity now to delve deeper into the specific like organic weaving that I'm especially passionate about, and to get more down and gritty with the nuances. And hopefully I'm looking forward to people taking both and really being able to synthesize the weaving revolution that's
I'm really into it. I'm really into it because I think it's a thing. I mean, there have been weaving classes here and there over the years, but I don't think I've ever seen a Twist and Shout that has two weaving classes. And also Rob is doing a master class that is, I don't know if he would technically call it a weaving class, but he's showing like a box weave structure. I think that the more we push twisters into getting comfortable with larger woven structures, I mean, your work alone, I think the thing that some twisters get afraid of is like, oh, weaving is too like geometrical and it's kind of boring. But when I look at your work, you take weaving and you definitely create an art form out of it, and I think it's going to be really good for the industry. Jetwan says it's unbeweavable. Yes, Jetwan, definitely.
Oh, that's fantastic.
What's the name of your weaving class?
It is called Twist Like a Sculptor.
Twist Like a Sculptor. That is a great
because
title.
I also want to sort of underlie the why of why I do the weaving, which has to do with constructing these sculptures in a three-dimensional way that breaks things down into surfaces rather than volumetric interlinking parts like we usually think of balloon twisting as functioning like, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, no, definitely, because like, when you're working with just the cylinders, you kind of, the edges of the cylinder of your balloon are the edges of your design, but when you're weaving, now all of a sudden you've got lots of different shapes you can make. Cool. DJ, thanks for talking with us. I'm really looking forward to taking your classes. It sounds like you've got some really interesting ideas, and I just love your approach in general to the art form. So thanks for being here.
You're welcome.
We're going to
take forward to seeing all of you.
Yes. It'll be my first time.
I'm excited.
And it'll be my first time meeting you in person as well, which I'm really looking forward to. That's going to be a lot of Twist and Shout for me this year, is going to be like all these people that I've gotten to know over the pandemic. all these new people, and I'm going to get to meet you in person. So it's going to be really exciting. We're going to take a quick break, but stick around because we have a super surprise guest after the break.
Look at this stuff, isn't it neat? Wouldn't you think my collection's complete? Wouldn't you think I'm the girl who has everything? Look at this gold and this lime green so bold. How many colors can a bag Tunis hold? Looking at me now you think she's got everything. I've got 260s and prints aplenty. I have hair bands and Sharpies galore. You want shades of blue? I've got 20. But who cares? No big deal. I want more. I wanna be where my people are. I wanna see them twisting or walking around on no, what do you call it? Sleep. Learning at home, you don't get the fun of meeting new people and shopping or jamming or being one of those crazy kids who likes to compete. A place to learn, a place to jam. At night we get to dress up really glam. What's this about? I can't do without. I need twist and shout. What would I give if I could live at a convention? What would I pay to spend 4 days learning from the best? Bet you at home I'd sit alone thinking that nobody understands me. But there are people who love balloons as much as me. And we're ready to know what our heroes know. Ask them our questions and get some answers. What's a frumple and why does it? What's the word? Burn. I want to learn, wouldn't I love to explore this world I've dreamed of. And there I'd be. I can't wait to see my twist and shout family.
All right, cut that out.
I want to say one thing before we go on. DJ's work for me as a newer person to the scene, it showed me that you can evoke emotions with balloon artistry. And because I just came at this with, just little animals that you hand off and you're done. And being that my background, I do have a lot of experience in the arts. I'm like, wow, this could be in so many different realms. So
yeah,
well done.
Absolutely. Awesome. Well, let's keep this show rolling along, shall we? Because we've got our big final surprise guest. And I'm pretty darn excited about this one. Our surprise guest started twisting way back in the late 80s and went to her first all-twister event, which was T-Jam 1999. They've been a full-time balloon artist for 32 years, mostly doing balloon decor, but also performer management. But most of you probably know her as the creator and queen of Twist and Shout. Please welcome to the show, Patty Sorrell. Patty!
The host has asked me to start my video. I'm hitting start my video. Oh man,
maybe try clicking the button on the bottom that says
yeah! I made it. Oh man.
Yes. Yeah, that's all right.
Hi, everyone.
Hi, Patty. Oh my gosh.
How you doing, everybody?
It's so good to see
Hello
you.
here. Yeah, good to be here.
How you doing?
I'm doing good.
Yeah, you were pretty busy this past few weeks.
Oh gosh, yeah. I was teaching at a balloon decorator event called Fulcrum,
Mm,
and still running the business. Trying to not run my business. Trying to get down to where I'm not like hustling all the time.
right.
You know, that's the problem when you're in full-time business for 32 years. You hustle and you hustle and you don't know anything else.
Right.
So I applaud Dan for recognizing that he doesn't have to hustle anymore.
Yeah.
But I always needed to, pay the bills and, keep the lights on through recessions and downturns and 9/11 and the pandemic.
Mhm.
So, but I've made it through it all.
And here you are.
Here I am.
And you're a
Always-
survivor, man.
Twist and shout done. That's always been-
I can't wait. First one in 3 years, pretty much.
The last one was 2020
Yeah. Wow.
in Louisville. And that we kind of just scraped by because that pandemic was starting.
Yeah,
we were hearing rumors and we were hearing about people getting sick. And we were just kind of, I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know what's going to happen. And we barely made it through before they shut everything down.
Yeah, that was real close. Yeah, because it was what? It's in February and everything shut down mid-March.
Mid-March. Yeah.
Wow, that was close.
Yeah.
So how are you feeling for getting everything together? Are you excited? Are you stressed?
I'm excited. It was, I had to relearn a lot of stuff. There's,
Sure.
so many things that I would do on a yearly basis. It was, almost, I knew what I was doing. Everything would just go on because I just redo it again. And then I stopped doing it for 2 years. And now I'm like, oh, wait, I've got to go get trophies. Oh, wait, I got to go get lanyards. Crap, I got to,
Right.
And now I'm relearning everything.
Yeah.
I love it.
And it's been going this will be technically the 23rd year if we don't count having missed.
Yes and no, because there were a couple of years, like the first T-Jam was 1999.
Right.
And then the first Twist and Shout was 2000.
Yeah.
But T-Jam and Twist and Shout went back and forth. We traded off years for the first 3-4 years.
Gotcha.
So I just put the year in there because I can't count that far anymore. I don't have any more fingers.
Right. Who needs to count anymore? It's old enough to vote and drink. That's all we need to know. Yeah. Twist and Shout is old enough to drink. So does that mean we'll finally have alcohol at the convention for the first time ever?
No. Your beverage container of choice.
Yes. Still to this day, my absolute all-time favorite swag bag that Twist and Shout ever gave out was, I think, 2016 or 2014. It was a box of Franzia holder, otherwise known as a nice duffel bag that perfectly fit a box of Franzia. I hope you don't mind this, but I totally mutilated that bag. What I did is I cut a little hole in the bottom so that the nozzle of the Franzia box could stick out.
See, that bag was actually perfect to hold the in stand.
Oh, I was doing it all wrong.
Well, you were doing it not wrong, just imaginatively, creatively.
I did it my way.
You.
Yeah.
I had some of that this past week. It was awful.
So you've been the queen of Twist and Shout. I mean, for as long as I've been going, but right from the beginning, what was kind of that process of like, first of all, what the hell even possessed you to say, yeah, I want to be responsible for running an industry convention? That sounds like an insane undertaking.
Well, when I first started twisting balloons with my husband at the time, we were joined with a clown convention people. Because the only way that you could learn balloons is through the clowns, because they were the only ones who knew how to do balloons. So we were hanging around with clowns, and they were doing their balloon conventions, and we were helping them with their little clown conventions. And their clown conventions involved some magic, some maybe puppetry, some face painting, some balloons. So we learned the workings of conventions that way. And when Tom Myers decided he wasn't going to do that Twist and Shout that second year because he was afraid of Y2K. If you don't know what that is, use Google, look it up. Y2K was very, very frightening.
It was a big deal. It was a big deal.
It was a kind of a big deal. Yeah. So I knew in my heart that if it didn't happen a second time, it may not ever happen again. And I convinced my husband that we had enough knowledge and enough smarts, and we were very smart, that we could pull this off. And so we asked Tom's permission, can we do this? And, and he said, sure, go for it. And yeah, we did it in this little town, my hometown called Peabody. We had it at a little Marriott. I don't even know if we had 150 people. I have no idea back then. I mean, there was barely an internet. We had Balloon HQ helping us, but there wasn't any Facebook. There wasn't anything. But
you didn't have the Dave Brenn show. I mean, how did you survive?
I have no idea.
Gosh.
So, and then we went back and forth a couple of years, and then we just kept going.
Yeah.
So I had just developed a system of doing the same convention over and over and over. I do it the same way every time. I don't change a whole lot. People like the consistency.
You always know what you're going to get. Yeah.
They know what they're going to get. I jam pack these days full of classes and events. So there's rarely any downtime. If you're not in a class and you're not at a competition, you're in the jam room. And so that kind of allows us to go to places that nobody cares about for a convention. And we still have a good time because we just shut ourselves into a hotel and just play all weekend. And that's what I love about it is people stick around. They don't go off to be tourists.
Right.
And, because there's no need for that. You're here to learn. You're here for the camaraderie and, the fellowship. And if you're a competition kind of person, you're here to beat the pants off somebody else and have bragging rights.
Right. Yeah. Or if you want to teach, which was the direction I really wanted to go, it's a great opportunity to teach. Now, as I recall, my method for becoming an instructor at Twist and Shout was constantly hounding you and Royal by email for like 2 years before you finally said, all right, this little kid who we don't know from California, fine, you can teach. We'll give you a chance. And
I like to give everyone a chance. I mean, there are a lot of people who didn't have a big name or.
Well, so what do you look for? Like, what if someone is thinking, oh, I want the opportunity to teach? What's the best way to approach it if they want to teach at your convention or any convention? And what do you kind of look for in a teacher?
I look for somebody who has a good internet presence, somebody who is doing a lot of great work and showing it off, especially on Facebook. If they've got a following, that's a big plus in my book. So, lately I've been seeing a lot of Girgo's stuff and I was just super impressed. And I just wrote to Jim R. I love this guy. Can we have him?
Yeah.
The person who is applying for the job should also have, good looks, good speaking capacity. I would love it if they were able to have taught somewhere else first, whether it be a local Cologne convention, jams, somebody else's little convention, a little regional convention, or like the Fave or the Capital conventions or any of those smaller events so that they can get their chops and, figure out if they can teach and how their teaching style is. There's a lot of great artists out there, amazing artists who suck at teaching, suck.
Yeah.
But there are a lot of good artists who are great teachers and can articulate what they do, how they do it, why they do it. And those are the kind of teachers that I love.
Well, and one of the things that I really like about Twist and Shout is, and I don't know, I'm actually curious to know how this started, but this kind of informal Sunday thing, if you haven't been to Twist and Shout, basically what they allow for is on Sunday, which is the day after the convention is done. If you want to teach a little session, you can just post it up on the wall and say, I'm teaching on Sunday, and come to my class. And that was actually the first real deal teaching experience I had. It was a couple of years before I actually taught an official class at Twist and Shout. But having that opportunity, because you're already surrounded by the balloon community, you're super energized by the week, and that gives you that experience. What was the kind of the genesis of that thing?
That was actually all Tom's idea, the Tom Myers of T Myers. He did it at his first TJM, and I thought it was brilliant too, because again, there were so many people who wanted to teach, but only a certain amount of teaching spots. We only have so much time. So this was a way that everybody could get to teach. Maybe they get a little extra money if they made, if they got some good people coming to their class on Sunday. And again, it's good practice if you've never taught before to see if you are successful as an instructor, even in a small setting.
Right.
So yeah, and not my idea at all.
Well, it's great that you kept that tradition going, because I think it's given a lot of people a good chance to start. It's going to be
a lot of ideas in terms of really niche sculpture items. When you're talking about like Matt Flood's Picos, which are teeny tiny, and it's hard to teach in front of a class of 100 people because it's such a small medium. But you get a class of 5 or 10 people getting in really close, you can teach them very well.
Right. Interesting. Well, it's going to be a jam-packed week of stuff, and I kind of want to go through it a little bit step by step. So it starts on Wednesday,
yes,
which is the 22nd. So what's the first thing that happens on Wednesdays?
The first thing that happens is I will have already been there 3 days.
Yeah.
We are offering some master classes. The master classes are 4 hours long. They're on advanced topics, and they are an additional price in addition to the convention. I believe they're $99. I have to look at the website again.
And then you pay for the master classes. You pay for each class that you want to take, right?
The master class is an additional fee on top of the regular registration.
Right.
So we've got 6 different masterclass offerings this year, which is more than we've ever had in a long time. And I wish I could take some of them because they look fun. They look awesome. And again, it's really, hardcore stuff.
Yeah.
So then while that's going on, the vendors are setting up their vending room. The jam room is being set up with the product from Vitalik, from Qualitex, and from Jamar. And so people start to come in, start to get the registration. They start jamming wherever they can, or if jam room's open, they will go in there. And at like 7:00 at night, we start with our welcome reception. Our welcome reception is just introductions. I introduce me, I introduce the teachers, the staff. We go through a little bit of housekeeping, hide your alcohol, things like that.
Yeah. The important stuff.
You can get fined by the hotel
for
bringing in alcohol that is not purchased from the hotel.
Right.
So that's why we do it. It's one of those rules. So I got to keep hammering these children over and over again to obey the rules. And
Children, do you hear that? Obey the rules. I'm looking at all of you.
Sorry. And then after the welcome reception, we have the competitions for 3-minute, 12-minute, and hairband. Right after that, we go into jamming all night and the Pajama Jam is Wednesday. Yeah.
Yes. Nice. Pajama Jam is one of my favorite events. It's a nice way to kick the week off. We're just hanging out. We're having fun. It's kind of goofy.
Yeah. Somebody asked me, do we really wear pajamas? I'm like, yes, you wear your pajamas. Hopefully without the hole in the butt.
Yeah. Unless you're Sam Cremines. I don't think
we'll demonstrate the butt and the hole in the butt.
Yes. And I don't think Sam Cremines owns a pair of pajamas that don't have a little button-up flap on the back. So that's just the way it goes.
Hope it stays buttoned up.
Yeah. But then Thursday starts right in with the real deal classes.
Yeah.
And it's a jam-packed schedule.
We have 4 class slots with 3 classes going on at every time. So there's a dozen classes that are happening throughout the day. And there's always a good choice of the classes. So if you don't like one, you have two others to choose from. If you don't like any of the classes, go to the jam room.
And you do a pretty good job because each class is offered twice. So, and the way you kind of organize it, yeah. I don't think I've ever been in a situation where I couldn't take all the classes I wanted to take at some point over the week. So there's lots of opportunities. And then we have...
It's hard to take absolutely everything, I know.
Yeah.
But you got to make hard choices sometimes.
Right.
And the thing about it is you can go into the jam room, find somebody who took the class that you didn't get to take, and say, I need to know how the instructor did this. Somebody will teach you. Somebody will show you how to do it.
The jam room is a great place. Sometimes you get better interactions in the jam room because you kind of can sit down with someone. A lot of the instructors are super present during the convention and are in the jam room, which is nice.
They better be.
Yeah.
I don't want them to only hang out with their clique or only hang out in the room or hide away afterwards.
Right.
That's why we don't allow the teachers to compete, because sometimes the competitors hide away in the room. We never see them until the awards.
Right. And speaking of competitions, so you, like you said, Wednesday night is the 3-minute, 12-minute, 7-minute, and hairband. But then Thursday is the dress?
Costume and dress.
Costume and dress, yes.
Yes, they are two separate competitions.
Okay.
All dresses and then all costumes.
Okay. And then Friday night is the stage performance competition, which I am happy to announce right now for the first time publicly. I'm co-hosting the stage competition with Andrea Noel.
That's going to be
very
fun.
Excited. And then the final night, of course, we have the gala dinner. The big question that I think I want to make sure Jetwan just said here in the chat, and this is a very important question for people, what's the deadline for entering all these different competitions?
The 3, 12, and hair bands are, you just show up.
Okay.
All right. The dress competition and the costume competition, there is a maximum of 12 entries. So once those fill up, we're not taking any more. You can be put on a wait list, but there's no guarantee. So when they're full, they're full. But otherwise, it's probably going to be, I'm guessing we'll close it off maybe Wednesday. But usually, it fills up. So if you're thinking about doing it, think hard and get it done. Get your product done. For the stage competition, there is also a limit. I don't remember if it's 10 or 12 competitors.
I think we're doing 10 this year. Yeah.
Yeah. So again, if there's room and you want to shoehorn yourself in, we'll put you in there.
Yeah.
But if there's not room and you've been preparing something, you've missed out. So better to get your stuff and put in your proposal. Just sign up for it. That's all we need you to do.
Right.
And figure the rest later. You've got 6 weeks.
Yeah. And then I think the competitions that the Twisters kind of get the most excited about, or at least a lot of preparation goes into all of them, but the ones that I think get the big spotlight are the twisting competitions, which is the small, medium, and large. And that's the one where if you win in all 3 categories, that's the one where you can win top twister.
Is where you become top twister. That's right.
Right. So tell us about small, medium, and large. What are the specifics?
The rules are, there are no rules.
Nice.
To me, artistic means you push the boundaries. On those 3 competitions, you are judged by your peers. Mm-hmm. So you kind of have to take that into consideration. There are times when people have submitted an apple.
Mm-hmm.
That was a balloon piece in the small competition.
Yeah.
It didn't win anything. Gee, I don't know why. But small is 12 by 12 by 12. Medium is 30 by 30 by 30. Large, I can't remember off the top of my head. It is on the website.
I thought large was it can fit through the door.
Not anymore.
Not anymore.
No,
So you can go bigger.
we have size constraints because we have limited room these days.
Right.
It was that way years ago, but when somebody made this life-size X-wing fighter and it took up the whole competition room,
Yeah.
that got a little out of hand. It was
Yeah.
great sculpture, but
Right.
I wish I could let it go, but again,
I think it was something like 10 by 10 by 10 the last time it was in
or 10
person.
by,
Something
or
in that.
8 by 10.
Yeah.
It's on the website.
Yeah, cool.
Large,
yeah,
large
you
sculpture
can just-
competition.
Excuse me?
Large sculpture competition pieces are to be no larger than 8 feet length, 8 feet deep, 10 feet high.
10 feet
Gotcha.
high. Yep. So you can
Thank
use
you,
glue, you
Jetwan.
can use markers, you can use staples. I don't care. Whatever makes it work, whatever makes this art piece your art piece.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What since it's been a couple of years since you're doing it in person, what are you kind of most looking forward to coming back to real life?
Again.
Right?
Just gonna see everyone.
I know.
I know. I miss you all. I mean, we've been talking and I've been watching your show, and every once in a while, I saw Dave over at Halloween, and you get bits and pieces of people, but you don't get the whole experience of everyone together, because it's the everyone together that's magical.
Yeah.
It's beautiful to see everyone one-on-one. But when everybody is in the jam room together and they're all sitting around in little groups and they're grabbing balloons here and they're talking to somebody there, there's 12 different conversations going on at the same time. The energy is just amazing.
Yeah.
That's what I'm looking forward to.
Yeah. Jetwan, it looks like we have a question for Patty here. What's our question?
What would you like a first timer to know about Twist and Shout?
And this is a good question because I think we're going to have a boatload of first timers. A whole bunch of new people came into the industry during the pandemic.
All of these people who are here and who have been here for even, the past few years, the past 20 years, they all are your friends already. They all want you to succeed, and they all want to help you, no matter what your question is, whether it's a twisted question, whether it is a business question, whether, you want to ask, where did you get your zoot suit? We love to share, and don't be intimidated. If you go up to, Sam Cremines and say, I really love your work, he'll sit there and he'll thank you. He'll start a conversation. We're friendly. Don't be intimidated. We're not made of glass. We're not supposed to be behind, the museum pieces. We're real people.
Yeah. Well, except for me, you're not allowed to look me in the eye when you see me in person. Other than that,
I can't look you in the eye. You're too beautiful.
Thank you. That's the right answer, Patty. Great job. Oh, awesome. And Jetwan also asking if there are a lot of new people at Twist and Shout or mostly long timers. I feel like you've given me the stats on this in the past that it kind of is about half and half. Where a lot of years we have just straight up half new people, and
a lot of the old people these days. I wouldn't call us old people, but the veterans, we'll call ourselves. A lot of times we're not really going to learn new twists because we know all the twists. We're looking for those little gems. I mean, sit in a class and you can get that one little thing that pays for the whole convention. It's an insight on how to work with a customer. It's, how to do something else. And that's what the veterans are looking for. But they're there to see their friends, because we're a family. The new people, a lot of the times the new people wait for the convention to come near them, and that's when they come. So we'll theoretically get a lot of people who are within driving distance, SoCal, Vegas, Phoenix, know. So it's hard for people who don't have an established business to come all the way across the country, but that doesn't stop them either, because this is a bucket list thing. Everybody wants to eventually go to Twist and Shout. And it's one of the things you kind of have to do kind of like your pilgrimage, if you will.
Right.
If you're a balloon artist. And, you know, for the people who don't know about Twist and Shout, and this is really weird because Facebook during the pandemic has changed the algorithm. So I'm honestly not getting the reach I used to get. So, you know, if you are on any Facebook groups, and there's 9 million Facebook balloon groups, you know, just plug away, tell everybody, because there's people who don't know it existed. And we've got a lot of new twisters since the pandemic because people were picking up balloons to either keep themselves busy, keep their kids busy, make a little extra side money. So there are all these new people who have never heard of Twist and Shout. And I would love to invite them in.
I hope they all do come. It's going to be a great event. Patty, thank you so much for taking some time out of your night to talk with us. If you don't already know, the website for Twist and Shout is balloonconvention.com. If you're watching this and you love Twist and Shout and you want to spread the word, please post it, spam it all over social media. Make sure everybody knows Twist and Shout is coming back February 22nd. It's going to be in Glendale, California. Balloonconvention.com is the website. Thank you to all of my lovely viewers here in the Zoom gallery for watching the show. Thanks to DJ, thanks to Dan Staples, a special thanks to Patty Sorrell. Big thanks to my fearless co-host, Jetwan Whedon. Thank you, Jetwan. Where are you? There we go. Thank you for helping me out, pal. The Dave Brenn Show is produced by my cat, Baby Shark the Cat. The theme song for the Dave Brenn Show is by Adi Somek and the Unpoppable Trio. And my show is generously supported by my patrons over at patreon.com/Dave Brenn. Go over there and join today. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you at Twist and Shout. Woo!